Howdy. Hi, everyone. God, I was rushing home. I was hanging out with a friend. They promised to make me dinner, and I'm poor, so I was there. Also, I like hanging out with them, but they're fun. They're fun. They keep offering to come on stream with me. They're like, we should do something. Let me yap at your creeps. So I was like, all right. We got a jankathon coming, and I'm gonna need time slots filled. But hi everyone, hi Ryder, hi Undoubtable, hi Helta, hi Captain. I hope everyone's doing well. Of course I would say your name twice for the emote. Of course I would. It's a good emote. It's a great emote. How's everyone doing? How's everyone week started? I had a day off. Was it a real day off? No. Was it because I fucked up? Yes. But do we take those? Absolutely. Absolutely. Paycheck aside. You know, on Thursday I'll be afraid. But until then, I'm living high. Hey! Hey yo, it's Zero. Hey yo, it's Zero. I hope you're doing a good time. I hope you're doing a good time. Ugh, English. She fucks me daily. Without loop. I missed you too! I want to drag you through some niche game during the Scuff-a-thon. Fuck yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm so excited. Guys, I might do it earlier than I said I was gonna. I said I was gonna do it next month, but honestly, I'm kind of getting very excited to do it. So, we might do it sooner. We might do it sooner. I'll give you guys at least a week's notice. Should I give you more of a notice? Should I be better at my job? I don't know. I like doing things suddenly. I like jumping you guys with events. I like being like, ha, surprise, it's now. But that is perhaps cruel and unusual and not incredibly professional of me, since this is my job now, you tyrants. You fucking ne'er-do-wells. Be afraid, I have schemes in the works. What the fuck are you scheming in there? What could you... Ah! Dog Sweaters Monthly! Is this your one a month? Do you want abuse a month? Or is that just for the dog sweaters? Honestly, a dog sweater a month? Kind of impressive. If you're knitting those by hand, that's a lot of yarn. That shit's expensive. Hi, how you doing? I hope you're doing week's going well. English is not my strong suit at the moment, but we're gonna make do. We're gonna get through. We're gonna make do. We're gonna rhyme in other mysterious ways. So this is your main source of income, is what you're saying, for all of the next week. How much of the Scuff Marathon am I gonna miss? Curse my obligations. That's why I'm gonna try and give you guys notice, so you can be like, plot how you want to do things. I'm gonna try to make it uncapped. The nice thing about my training is it kind of leaves me with a lot of time on my hands, which honestly might be really fucking ideal, but it also, I'm not sure how concrete the schedule is gonna be. So we shall see. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. I'll ask them about it tomorrow, hopefully. Or I'll get scared and I'll just do it and hope it works out. Pick up a coke habit or increase my caffeine addiction. You know, something to make it work. You're gonna work. Slay, but not with too many Y's. Careful now. 4 Y's and we get crazy. What the fuck is that? Oh, that design of Vapor with that kind of like cartoonish side frills is honestly so fucking cute. I'm gonna make out with that strange little man. Of course, after I ask his wife for permission. I'm gonna try and work it smooth. It's like, if I feel nothing but hate in my heart for him, is it okay then? Like, you know, we'll work something out. We'll work something out. Oh no, Mix It Up is open. Oh, Mix It Up is open, but it doesn't like you. L. Huge L. Well, sadly, missing out on things is just a part of life, true. I will miss you, but have an amazing time. Ugh. You'll be here in my heart of hearts, Undominable. You'll be here in my heart of hearts. Helta got fucked by Mix It Up. Such a shame. Maybe I should exit out and open it back up again. I just leave it up now because it's the only way I don't forget to do it, you know? I don't know. I'm gonna leave it up. I'm gonna pretend that it's doing well. That's my hope. Oh my god. Uh-oh. My model might be killing Dead Space again. That would suck. That would suck, but, you know. We try and live through these. We try and make it. I'm gonna try and open up Dead Space one more time before I kill my model. Oh, Illinois. That's what they're spelling. It works! It works! It works! Okay, I'm gonna bring you guys over to the game. Are you ready for more horror games? More horror gaming? Don't answer that. Alright, first, a little jump scare. Ah! Happy Halloween. And now I'm in the corner. And I forgot about the music. Oh, but it's okay because I forgot to set up the thing. Whoa, what the fuck? There are so many spooky noises happening in the back. I do not fuck with it. Okay.
Is he alive?
Ah!
Isaac Clarke. Going to show you some images.
What the hell?
Tell me about them.
Why is it introing me? I didn't even get this intro last time.
It was just a short bit. There were things in my head. There's so much shit in my head. What did the symbols whisper?
Ah! Damn it! I was just trying to turn up the volume. Y'all never try and connect me to an EA server again, I swear. I will swear. Ah! God, it always fights me so much trying to make it big screen. It fights me so much. There we are. There we are. Okay. Well, you know. I'm just so ready for more of you in my life. Ugh. You're adorable, you're a treasure, you're a gem. Test, I saw your test. Are we good? Are we all good? Are we all lackadaisical crazy? I'm scared. I'm scared. Oh, maybe it is fucked. Maybe it did all fall apart. We got a bit of a delay. Woof. You know what I'm saying? It should work itself out. But just in case it won't, let me try and close some things on my browser, see if that helps at all. Not that there's a lot of things open, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Also, not to self-add, frames are dropped. They say 60 on my side. Huh. What a strange day. What a strange, strange thing to say. What if I get up? Well, or what causes the delay? Ah, I see. Well, if it becomes worse, please let me know. But for now, we will continue and pretend that everything is fine forever. Woo! CEC advises carry one power node with them at all times to unlock emergency supply rooms. Yeah, I learned that. But thank you. Oh yeah, that's right, the cool helmet. The cool helmet. All right. Remember, the buttons are slightly different. C is no longer objective showing. It's like V or B or something. Yeah, it's B, which is, you know, crazy, but we will persevere. Oh, that's right. I just cleared this room. And it was hellish. It was hellish and bad. Sick. Ooh, more stuff. Ooh, lots of stasis packs. Fascinating. C and B are practically the same thing. It's C and B. As in broken. Like my heart. Ooh. Oh, my least favorite game. Oh, no, this is fine. I love a little hacking minigame. I do. I know I've already mentioned that. Same thing. It's not... Oh my god. Hi, guys. How's that? Okay. I stop whipping my head around so much.
He's gone. Listen, the steps can destroy the marker. Step 1, crawl into the dark machine. Step 2, the screws go tight all around.
I don't understand.
Oh, God, he's back. No.
Okay. Hope you're doing okay, buddy. I don't like how quiet it is. I am not chill with that. Whatever it takes. Ooh. Dead forever? What the fuck? I see. I should stop reading the canon advertisements. What? Huh? Oh, can I save someone? Hey!
Come on, come and get it! You want a piece of me? Huh?
Ow!
Hey!
No. You stay back. You want to talk? You talk from there.
Okay.
Don't say you're gonna help.
Whoa!
The last person who said that tried to kill me.
Hey, take it easy. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Yeah, you got that right. You try it, and you're dead.
Fuck yeah! Can I come closer? Are you gonna shoot me? I'd prefer you didn't. Hey, what you up to?
Look, I think we got off to a bad start here. I'm Isaac.
Ellie. What do you want, Isaac?
I'm trying to get to the transport hub. I need to get to the government sector.
What do you think we were trying to do?
Fair point.
Hey, I can help you. Besides, we got a better chance if we stick together. Don't you agree?
It's not a chance, Isaac. Other people are just a liability.
Are they?
I'll release the door lock. But after that, you're on your own. And please, don't follow me, okay?
Okay.
Wait.
I mean... That's fine, but... should I... Wait. Okay, I guess I am following her. I just, you know... I'm wearing armor, is all. So I just think I'd be useful as, like, a meat shield, if nothing else. Ooh. A schematic. As a dyslexic. I could take that again from the top, but I'm not gonna. Alright. Oh. mend your heart, or at least hold it in one piece? How cute. Oh, wow. Sick. Oh, a store. Don't mind if I fucking do. Maybe you could use some power armor. There's a tactical advantage to having someone with power armor. Right? I have an extra. I literally have an extra. If she came, and it's right here. If she came down with me, she was like, sure, hop in. I'd be like, oh yeah, by the way, are you a size L? Because... no. How do I, no. Like, how do, there we are. Okay. I just want to see if there's anything to sell. Like that. Yep. Yep. What is that? Plasma energy, detonator mines. That's fine. Sure. Yep. Wait, how did I do that even? Oh, well. Whatever. I'm sure this shit is adjustable. I mean, you'll make do. It's just like, listen, you can have no power armor and go fuck with these guys with your fucking dogs out, or you could have a little ankle chafing. Up to you. Hi, love. Cool. Ammo is for bitches. Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to be ripping their arms off and stuff. Who is making all those fucking noises? Ah! There you are. Where is your other hand? No? More meat? A javelin! Ah! Where? Ow! Ow, you too, huh? Ooh, get fucked. I'm pissing uncontrollably in this chat. Okay, well, you know, thank you for the update. It's all in segments. You have to enter the science box. Yeah, just let me weld you in here. It's probably fine. Where is the slime guy? I hear him sliming around. Ah! There you are. Oh wow, you're like on there. Okay. Huh. Okay, well I guess I don't need to be breaking those anyway. It's just They're a little... Ow! See? Fucking hell. Ow! Oh my god! Oh. Oh my god! I think he bit my fucking foot off! Whee! Drive here to immediately start pissing everywhere I see how it is, right? No sanitation. Oh my god. You just can't be stepping on these bitches. And it's annoying. Should I trade weapons? Do I have other weapons to trade with? Rip Isaac? He'll get over it. He's fine. Rub some dirt in it. Ooh, my javelin gun. No, move. Oh. God, this is kind of an annoying system, isn't it? Okay, well, you're out. Oh. Move. Thank you. And then... give me that back. Oh, the javelin gun's also out of ammo. Oh, that's awesome. Sick. Ow. Just pop on over here. Oh. Okay, well. Listen. Oh my god. Who and where? That was awesome. Also, the stream is fairly laggy at the moment. That's no good. That's no good. Let's close Spotify. Let's close fucking Moobot. Let's close this tab of Opera. Oh no. We're gonna do our best. Everything on my side says everything is fine, except for one number, which I don't understand. Drop frames network is different than FPS. Reset? Yep, it still says bad. It still says very, very bad. My friends, my loves, I don't necessarily know how to fix this. I don't know. I could close Discord, I suppose. That's all I got. That's all I got. I hope it gets better, though. Everyone try refreshing, please. Please, oh please. I'm trying to think if anything else would be on the internet, but truly nothing would be. So, I don't know. I guess I could make sure my phone's not running anything. If it does not improve in the next, like, 15-ish minutes, please let me know. Ow. You suck. Ow. Ow. Fucking hell. Oh! Wow! What's the bit rate? The output bit rate. There's a lot of numbers here. 6,000 kilobytes per second, 880 MIB. Also 0 MIB and 0 KIB. I don't fucking know, guys. Oh my god. Why am I missing a gun? How did this happen? Wait, your bitrate is at 6,000 kilobyte? I don't know. I mean, I see a thing, drop frame network total bit data output bitrate, and at the end of that, it says 6,213, and that number keeps fluctuating, but also below that, it says 0. So, I don't know. Oh, because that's recording. Never mind. Yes. My bitrate is 6,000. But also it has a number that's like 2,000 out of 9,000. So, I have no fucking idea. I feel like I'm now missing a gun, which sucks. No. Get me out of here. Where are my saw blades? Did I accidentally sell it? Ow! Fucking hell! I love that if you don't have a javelin, you can't make the other javelin do the zap. I love that. I'm lying. I don't love that. I think it's bad. Give me more stuff, please. That is a bit high, which is fine, but it can put stress on the computer and internet. Having high bitrate, usually like 3,500, is fine. Oh. I don't really know how to make it go down. That's kind of weird. Huh. That might be something I ask you for help with. How many dropped frames? Maybe we good? Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea how many dropped frames. I think like 10% of frames are being dropped. I think that's what that number means. Ow, fucking hell, go away. If I keep dying in this hallway, I'm going to eat a lemon. Where is my buzzsaw? That's my fucking question. Where the hell is it? Did I melt it? Do I need to buy another? Ooh, this costs money. So theoretically it's, what is this? Ripper! Yes, you! Give me that. How about that? How about that? Cool. now we'll save again. Anything above 5% for drop frames is high, but the stream is good now, so it's fine. Yeah, it's pretty consistently around there. I'm hoping when I switch to a 2-computer thingy, it improves, but for that, I need... Oh, by the way, I'm so sorry to advertise it, you guys. I try very hard not to do it. I am going to add an automatic advertisement, not because I think that's more ethical, but because I get embarrassed. But I did add to the throne a capture card so that I could switch to 2-computer streaming, which would make the streams higher quality. I plan to buy it myself. You do not need to add to it, but the more you add to it, the faster I get it. So, if you feel like throwing shit at me, that would be a cool way to do it. And I'd love you. I wouldn't. Or rather, I would anyway. Ow. Interesting. Give me that. Give me that money. Ooh, what is that? A power node. A node of power. Ah! Get absolutely fucked. Oh, there is a throne thing. Thank you. I might make it automatically do that every once in a while, which feels a little morally questionable, but I'm sure you will all find it in your hearts to forgive me. Ew. Oh my god. All of you make too much fucking noise. Shoot your goo, my dude. You're back with food? Hell yeah. What you eating? Oh, my friend made me butter chicken, and it's the reason I was late, but I'm not gonna lie, kind of worth. There you are. There. Ow. I fucking... Ow. Ah. There we are. Where are you making those sounds from? Oh, all the way up there. You gotta do something wrong to be forgiven. Advertising yourself isn't anything wrong, Goober. It could be. It could be. No, it's probably fine. But, you know, it feels a little rough to do. Occasionally. It feels rough to do. It didn't feel rough to do when I first started, you know? But then you guys actually went through with it, and now it's just like... Now every time I do it, it feels like I'm saying that those contributions were not enough. Which I understand that you guys don't view it that way, but you can see how my mind could grab that. But I will work hard to think less like that. Ooh, a daycare. What a fucking wonderful spot to have a horror moment. Screaming Cat, I just watched a chess video on stupid openings, and it was the most brain-rotting, idiotic stuff ever. I realize why I'm in the upper 4.3 of chess players now. Alright, humble brag. But, you know, I fucks with it. Oh! Oh, God. I can't stop that from happening. Oh! Oh my God! Wow, that sucked in a lot of ways. It's the, oh shit, this isn't a bit anymore mindset then. Yes, actually exactly that. Don't worry, we know that every bit means something. Thank you for your bit. I appreciate it. But you didn't count to 1, which, you know, now, I don't know. I feel uneasy about it. I'm at this part. Oh, this is a whole part, huh?
Okay, everyone. 15 minutes for recess. Play nice.
Leave me alone. Please leave me alone. 2! You guys counted to 2. Very proud of you. There you are. Ah! They're in the walls! They're in the goddamn walls! 1 to 4. You guys stop being able to count. Alright, no more bits. You're cut off. Sorry. Holy shit, 2! You guys are like, if fucking... the Count from Sesame... Okay. Sorry. Was looking for loot, didn't mean to drag your corpse around like that. Ah! Ah! Was that overkill? Yes. And I have nothing else. Guys, I thought I told you to fucking cut it out. Thank you for the total of 3 bits in 1 and 2 increments. Ah! Alright. Like a balloon. Cool. Okay. Damn, is everyone here already under the effects of, like, the I see my dead fucking family members that I miss? Whoa. Alright. Sorry, just checking. Ooh, a text log. I lied! Captain, what the fuck? Okay, thank you. Thank you. You're very kind. Cut it out. 1, 2, I lied! Fuck, that's gonna crack me up for a while. He recently doing. Huh? Huh? Damn. I know. They're going crazy. Ignore them. Don't encourage them. That is several 10s. It's so many 10s. At least several, perhaps even quite a few. It's arguably too many. Hi, Probably Exists. Welcome in. The kids are playing way too rough on the playground. They keep fucking exploding. I literally had a line of students with scrapes and bruises going out my office door. A few kids sustained injuries bad enough to need to call to the infirmary. Call me old-fashioned, but I think this is a problem with kids growing up on a space station. Kids need a planet with fresh air and open ground to play on. Otherwise, they go stir-crazy and start picking on each other. Space is no place to raise a family, if you ask me. Okay, well... Kinda seems like you're bad at your job and you're blaming space, which is wild.
Be sure your children's vaccinations are always up to date.
And give them the tism. Make them just like me. I don't even know what I grabbed. I forgot these were lootable. Oh. Good thing nobody asked you, lady. Damn. All right. Fuck me then. You know, if you wanna. Hey, it's their fault for exploding. True. True. That sounds like a them problem. Oh my god. Oh. Hi, wife. Hi, wifey. Okay. Ooh. The fuck was that? Oh, not a gymnasium. Not a carnival. Oh, hey kiddo. Oh, hi kids. All right. I was talking to the lady in the text. Oh. Space madness is very real danger that could infect any one of us. The first sign of it is disbelief of space madness. That doesn't sound Inquisition-y at all. Give me that. Give me that. Ah. Whoa. What the fuck are you? No. Wow. Space madness. Anyone else watch Ren and Stimpy? That shit was wild. I don't believe you in the slightest. Captain's got space madness. No one touches soap. 1 out of 10 doctors we pay vouch for space madness. Go fuck yourself. A long time ago, but I barely remember any episode. Real. There it is. Oh my god. Oh, nice. Just open up that boss arena. Where you at? Oh my god. Okay, well, yep, there's my ass. Damn! Don't treat my ass like that. Fucking hell. Ren and Stimpy was a staple? Ah. Let's hear it for those with strange childhoods. Let's pivot to this. Oh my god, okay, don't do that. Don't do that. I love sawing these children in half. It's very satisfying in a horribly visceral way. I saw one of my Wigmies used as a schedule image and nearly choked. That's hysterical. They've probably already given me their loot, but I just, you know. It's just good to check. Good to double check those things. Ren and Stimpy, Hey Arnold, Rocket Power, Monsters, the list goes on. What's it like being ancient, Captain? I wouldn't know, and don't you dare say I would. Unlocked. Is that also unlocked? Also unlocked. Fascinating. That is what I thought. Guys, we have an ad in 7 minutes. I'm going to use that opportunity to get some water for myself, which I have not done because I was in a rush to start stream. Ah!
Recess is over.
A text log. I know kids are supposed to have vivid imaginations, but this is getting ridiculous. Nearly half of my class has imaginary friends now, claiming that it's their deceased grandmother or something. Normally this wouldn't be a problem, but it's getting harder and harder to get these kids to concentrate. This semester, I've sent more students to timeout share than I have in all my 12 years of teaching. Maybe these kids are having trouble at home. I've also noticed parental involvement steadily decreasing this semester. Fascinating. Deeply fascinating. Wow, this feels very end of the worldy. I guess it's not on Earth, but if this happens on Earth, we're kind of fucked. Flamethrower. Oh, hell yeah. I love sawing these children in half. It's very satisfying in a very visceral way. Undominable. I can't believe you'd say something like that. That's horrific. Gets them every time. Gaslight, girl boss, gatekeep. Moth, you tell me. Go fuck yourself. How about that? How about that? Go fuck yourself or I'll do it for you. Who said that? Whoa! You guys got a hell of a recess gym. Oh. Hi, miss.
Afraid you're gonna cut your wrists if you listen to me?
Yes.
You may fool Strauss, but I know you're not real.
Oh, you claim I'm not real, and yet here I am.
You were just a hallucination. Strauss knows how to destroy you. He knows how to destroy the marker. We will destroy you.
How convenient. Destroy the marker and all the hurt and pain go away. Imagine that, Isaac. You'll never have to listen to your heart.
Oh, kind of sick. Kind of spitting facts over there. Remember, it is only gaslighting if they find out it is a lie. True. Whoa, what's going on with you? Why you... How you... Fuck it, never mind. You know what? Who am I to begrudge a educator their break behind the playground? Captain, that better be a cell for you. That's all I'm saying.
Isaac, it's Ellie. I found someone.
Whoa.
Another survivor. He says he knows you. I said stand still.
Ellie, take it easy. His name is Strauss. I know him.
He looks twitchy. I don't trust him. Don't move.
Ellie, I need him to be not dead. I need him.
Shit. Okay, Isaac. I'll march him to the hub, but if he does anything stupid, anything, I will shoot him.
He does stupid things, though. That's kind of his whole... Okay, well, I can hope he won't. Prison gates won't open up for me! What? I keep everyone in separate souls. Am horny jail. What? Me when dyslexia? You're keeping everyone in separate cells in horny jail? That is cruel and unusual. Ooh, I love it when they give me shit tons of ammo. Ooh. It doesn't scare me at all when they do that. Oh, and a save station? Oh, don't mind if I do. Fuck you, autocorrect. Luckily, Moth is fluent in my insane ramblings. True.
Isaac, we're up here. Come on.
Oh, hi.
Move.
Hello, Isaac.
Well,
Hi.
this brings up bad memories. I barely managed to escape the CEC facility this morning.
Wait, you're CEC?
Heavy equipment pilot, class 4. You?
Engineer.
Nerd. Figures.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's dark. You'll find me in the dark.
Shut up. It's okay, it's just a power outage.
You guys all right up there?
No,
Shit. I think life support's out too.
that's not good.
Our two remaining runners, Clark and Strauss. I knew it was only a matter of time before you reached the transit hub. You would find the train inoperable.
Are you insane?
You cut off power to life support. There may be other survivors over here.
Public sector is already beyond acceptable recovery conditions. I can't allow you to escape. Goodbye, Clark.
Oh, fuck you.
Holy shit, Isaac! Look out! It's headed for you!
Oh, hi. Ow.
Strauss, look out!
Ow. Yeah, that's fair. Ow. Fucking hell. Is it just me, or is this game a lot harder than the other one? Maybe it's just the slightly jankier controls, honestly, but, you know. Either way. Okay, I guess I'm gonna do this. Hi, come here. Ow. Oh my god.
I can't stop them all!
Okay, where, huh?
Isaac, are you alright? I think that's all of them, for now.
Why did Tiedemann turn off the power? What did you do to piss him off so much?
LED.
I existed.
You know what a marker is?
Yeah. The unitologist on my crew wouldn't shut up about it. Why? Is it real?
Yeah, it's real. Tiedemann made one using codes, patterns stored in our heads, mine and Strauss. Everything that's happening on this station is happening because of that marker. I have to get to it and destroy it, and I need Strauss to tell me how.
You're a strange man, Isaac.
Will you help
Yep.
me?
We're about to suffocate, so I think I'm better.
Okay, good. Listen, we need power. Without it, we have no air and no train. Sprawl's gotta have backup batteries somewhere.
Yes. The solar array's up there. But they've been mothballed for years.
Okay, alright, good. I'm heading there now. If I can start them up and get some power to the train.
You'll need someone to open the collector panels. I can do that.
Take Strauss and keep him safe.
Please and thank you. My dear love Milo, you are directly in my way. Everyone say hi to Milo. Nope. Ad time. Ad time. I'll be back. I say, if my fucking headphones will release me from this hell. Okay. I return. Hold their applause. Haha, yes. Yes, and he is chip eater. He's whining right now because I have not fed him dinner yet. And he's like, I'm starving. I'm starving to death. And he's lying. He says that and he's lying. Much like Captain. As I have his lie straight in my fucking feed. I have to keep looking at it. At that betrayal. I see you. I literally said I was looking at my activity feed. You fool! You goober! I'm gonna eat this dark chocolate caramel. Guys, is it crazy to say that I hate all chocolate except dark chocolate? No, but dark chocolate is best chocolate? See, I knew you fuckers were smart. There are so many people I interact with who are like, ugh, I despise dark chocolate. I don't understand how anyone could like it. And I think they are, in fact, crazy. I think that's an insane take to have. It's like chocolate, but better. It's literally every other chocolate feels like just a version that tastes worse. Like, ugh. Ugh, you like alcohol? I can't imagine you like alcohol. I love watered down alcohol. Fucking, do you hate yourself? Do you hate me? Chocolate has an actual flavor profile instead of just super sweet. Fucking preach. Preach! This is my hill to die on. It is like many of my hills to die on. Absolutely meaningless. Ooh. Give me this. Damn. I feel like I could fucking take on an army. I hope they don't make me do that, though. Ooh. Hey, bud. Come here. Ooh. Yep. That's what I thought. Fucking missed you. Ooh. Imagine. Imagine sucking. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Don't mind if I do.
How's Strauss doing?
With the power off, you can hear noises 3 blocks away. He's gonna give away my position.
Ellie, try to keep him focused. I need to know what he's trying to tell me.
Step 2, the door tight.
Interesting. That's kind of crazy. I never noticed that. That you have a HUD, like, that's what it is. It's just like a fucking book-looking thing right down there. That's kind of sick. A bench! And the money! Oh my god! Ow. Okay, well, that's what I get for reloading, I guess. Come here. You guys done? Can I take that? I like it. Oh, yes, please. Sell. Yep. Sell. Yep. No, no, none of that. None of that. How do I do the opposite of tab? Whatever. Flamethrower. Hell yeah. Oh. That's right. You're gonna be a dick about it. Okay, what are we getting rid of? This thing I never really love. No. Let's just move it. The plasma cutter, for the pulse rounds, for the ripper, for the detonator tool. We'll move that too. Hell yeah. And then how much do these cost? Ooh, you'll buy a few. Hell yeah. Goodbye, trusty bench. Respec. Select an item and press R to remove all installed nodes for reuse. Costs 5,000 credits. Interesting. God, there's... This is... Oh, I guess I could go up there. Oh, this just increases alt fire, which, you know, honestly... Not a terrible fucking thing. One, two, three, 4 is a crazy amount to spend for that. Plasma cutter. I think spend 2 to increase its. Honestly, I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that at all. Ooh, damage, yes. Alt fire, yep. And then we'll keep 1 for doors. And a little save. Sick. Sick. Hi. Oh, fucking you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. I knew you sucked.
Docking pod is off the mag rail. An engineering work order has been issued.
Nice. That's my job.
Ellie, I ran into a snag. It looks like the docking pod that runs through the solar array is floating at the bottom of the shaft. Don't worry. I can fix this. I'm heading outside to have a look.
Huh. Sick. How do I? There it is. I see. I can do that with more things. Fascinating. theoretically, if we're in zero gravity, it really shouldn't matter that I didn't use both, but whatever.
How's Strauss doing?
How do you think he's doing? Can you hear this shit?
He's hallucinating, Ellie.
This is going to be trouble.
Yeah, no
Already
shit.
is. Just keep moving.
Ooh. All right. All right. Ooh, Saturn. Saturn used to be my favorite planet, just because I liked the rings. Anyone else have a favorite planet, or is that just activity for fucking nerds? Also, is it normal that I'm like 1,000 times more attracted to that, to Ellie now that she's called me a nerd? Or is that something I should work on in therapy? Oh my god. Ow. Stop reloading, you fool. Ow. Fucking hell. Ow. Who doesn't love a nerd? True. True. Ooh. Haha. Haha. Sucks to suck. Actually. Oh, God. All right, well, that's what I get for fucking around. That was horrific in kind of a different way. So keep being a nerd. What the fuck you trying to say? Oh, wow. That sucked big. That sucked huge. That was bad. Let's do it again. I thought I just picked up a health kit. Health. Oh. What the fuck was that? Were those birds? Do you guys have canaries? You do!
To Solar Array Sigma 0, 5. Proper identification is required. Please wait here. Watchman Howard Phillips will be with you shortly.
Huh. A lot of birds. Wow, she's kind of spooky, isn't she? Ooh, hi.
Your rig is not authorized to access this area. Please step away from the door.
Ah, I see. Hi. Ooh, really cute nerd. Is that a problem, you adorable punk? I'm gonna beat you up. You're gonna get beat up. I'm cool and not a nerd. Fucking got him. Fucking convinced him. That one will do it. I want to go home. Anti claims that she didn't get a response to my transfer request, but it's the 5th one. How could there be 5 requests and no response? Surely someone is getting them. Someone is reading them. I hate to admit it, but the loneliness up here is really more intense than I expected. I think it's starting to affect me. The only good news is that Anti claims to have authorized my shipment request. They're supposed to be arriving later today. I can't believe anything she tells me. I've been asking for so long, it's hard to believe they might actually let me have my birds. Time will tell. Tonight will tell, actually. Okay, my guy just loved birds. And then, you know, he was brutalized. But ideally not by his birds that are now staring at me creepily. But you know, what would I know? Oh, and a bird watcher. Damn, you really liked birds. Oh. Wait, sorry. I understand what I have to do now. This is gonna be a little horrific. Yeah, I get it. Nerd. Mods! Mods! Wait, shit. Hey, bud. Just, you know, I need a door unlocked.
Rig authorization recognized. Greetings, Station Watchman Howard Phillips. I hope you slept well.
Yeah. Ooh. There we are. Jesus. All my mods! What the fuck?
Defenses activated.
Oh,
Station
shit.
Watchman Howard Phillips. Please provide verbal access code to authorize your guest.
Uh-oh. God, I don't even know what I just picked up. Is that the way to go? Okay, well then I want to know what's this way. Ooh, a node, see? Being nosy. It's helpful occasionally. Oh, excuse you. Excuse me. Oh, sick, nothing. A hot nerd? Well, why are you keeping your nerds in the microwave? Not that I keep them in the fridge or anything, but just that seems a little weird. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Oh! Like a balloon! Hi, lady. Can you please stop trying to kill me? That'd be swell. Why are you looking for clothes in the soup store? Fuck you!
Attention, Watchman Howard Phillips. Unauthorized engagement of access lift detected. Please respond.
Am I gonna have to fucking kill this robot? I can't do that, David. Or whatever. Personal log, Howard Phillips, record number 466. I've been trying to stay out of range of Anti's interfaces as much as I can. I don't want to hear her excuses anymore about my transfer requests. Every time I ask, I just get computerized bullshit. 23 requests. I've put in 23 requests and not one response. I know she's lying. I know she never sent them. I showed Anti, though. I let all my birds out of their cages at lunch. It was beautiful. They were all flying around free and happy. I wish I could be them. Anti was spouting regulations and talking about abnormal profiles. I don't care. I danced with the birds all day. I love my birds. I want to go home. Alrighty. That's a little weird, man. I ain't gonna judge. Except that I am. Cool. Fuck off. Ah! Whoa! Ah! Ah! Stop fucking quitting! Awesome. Helta, what the fuck? Coda got a sub. Coda? Who? Who? Coda Cat. Nice. I mean, I've really been paying this cutie for a whole 5 months? Helta, you covered up Emery. Emery, you're a sweet fucking bean. You don't gotta be doing that, but I appreciate you. Coda got a sub? I don't know. Oh, wait. Wasn't Coda Cat just here? Or am I going crazy? I might be crazy. Thank you very much, both of you, for your support. It's very kind of you. It's very... Captain, I swear to God. Thank you. Stop it. Quit it. Thank you. Jesus Christ. To Afla. Nice. A level up tomorrow to League. Am is real. What the fuck? These are some strange names. Some strange people have been invited to be creeps, but you know what? If that's not what we're about, I don't know what is. What is this? Ah. Yeah. I'm sure you're trying to... Oh, fucking hell. God damn. Okay, that's not bad. There's so much love getting spread around. I know, it's disgusting. I love you guys. That hurt to say. Ah! Oh, wow. I should have saved. Really quick. Ah! Damn, we're about to do a lot of backtracking. But that's okay. I do really appreciate your guys' support. It is very kind of you. You know, it is a joy to pretend to be a streamer at you all. That'd be a silly thing to believe, but I think I do a little bit. That's right. Birdman is sad about his birds. Ah! Get off of me! Oh my God! What is your fucking problem, dog? Ah! Fucking quit it! Ah! Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I like my strategy of always backing into a wall and getting smashed by tentacles. Well, you know, put me with tentacles. I mean, what else am I supposed to do? But, listen, I don't like being snuck up on from behind. Ooh, you suck. Ah! I gotta stop reloading. That's my main problem, is I always seem to be reloading when they want to throw enemies at me. Only reload after you've killed people. That's my new rule. Ah! Oh, we got a hype train. Thank you guys for starting a hype train, for finishing a hype train, for doing that whole thing. It was absurd, but I want a prize. I want a prize. Hold on, I want to see my prize. I want to see what I won from your hard work. I got a cat. I got a spooky cat. That's so funny. Oh, wow, it is a spooky cat. That's awesome. Actually, I love that. Ooh. Hi, lady. Please stop. Okay. Fast. Was that it? Yep. Yep. Give me back my air, please. Thank you. I started the remake of the first one. I gotta say, they do love the behind sneaking. See? I've been taught. I've been trained. I've been trained to guard my anus.
Unauthorized visitor. Mainframe. Initiating system lockdown.
Go fuck yourself.
System lockdown complete.
I'm sorry, Clark. I know what you're trying to do, and I cannot allow you to succeed. There's too much at stake.
I don't believe you. Oh, sorry. Wrong thing.
Unauthorized visitor. Mainframe.
Reroute. Let's see. Well, I guess I'll go the first direction before I reroute. What is that? Who is that? Who has the different colored eyes? Ooh, stuff. Oh. Nothing. It's nothing. Understood.
Unauthorized access to the computer mainframe is a violation of Titan Station Civic Code. Replace all panels and back away from the fuse board.
No. How about that? Oop, sorry. Get in there. Get, girl. Oh, they don't all fit in everything. I see. Oh, maybe that one just doesn't fit in any of them?
Unauthorized visitor. Mainframe.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I don't necessarily understand what it's talking about, but trial and error wins the day. Girl, I swear to God, if you do not get in your hole... I keep wanting to thank you guys again and again, but like I feel like perhaps I'm being a little embarrassing, but I don't know.
Proceed with caution.
You guys don't gotta do anything, and I appreciate you even if I cartoonishly hate you when you do stuff. Okay. Let's go back. Attention! You are breaking the law! It's a good thing they only gave computers the power to whine at me and occasionally turn off the oxygen and not to, you know, like, lock doors. Thanks, I got him. Ah, come here. Oh. I just do not be understanding what it is asking for. Why do those colors go to those things? Oh, was it this? Was this gonna tell? Never mind. I don't know. It doesn't matter much, does it?
Mainframe.
Ooh. It's you?
Mainframe containment compromised. Security has been notified.
Is that security? Ooh. Spooky, spooky. There you are. Oh my god. Okay. It's fine. It's totally fine. I think flamethrower was perhaps the answer to that. Ow.
Circuits will cause lapses in programming. For your safety, step away from the circuits. The mainframe circuits are extremely fragile. Please step away. Damaging the mainframe circuits will cause lapses in programming. For your safety, step away from the circuits.
Okay. Am I supposed to be destroying those? I'm actually not sure.
Automated functions offline. Lockouts offline. Creation authority. Manual operation only. Anti offline.
Damn. That was fucking Davey. Or, I can't do that, whoever the fuck your name. What am I referencing? Fucking hell. Let me in hell. I can't do that, whatever your name is. You guys know what I'm talking about? That was a good movie. That fucking space baby was a little weird, but, you know. Who am I to begrudge an old man his space baby? Oh my god! That was evil.
Ellie, I'm on my way to the mirrors now. I have to realign them manually. How's Strauss?
See for yourself.
No, I'm not ready for the needle again. You have to let me out. I can't breathe. Let me out.
Ross, what's wrong? Ellie!
He's waiting for me.
And I am goddamn sick of you. I'm gonna fucking blend your ass. Hal may or may not be a design reference point, real. But what was the guy's name? What was the astronaut's game? When he was murdering Hal, spoilers by the way, I cried. That shit fucked me up a little. Ow. Ow, fuck me. Space Odyssey. That is what I am referencing. Holy shit. Nope, that could have been very bad for me. Dave, that's right. Thank you. It was Dave. Dave's a fuck-ass name. Girl, absolutely not. Ow, fucking hell. More fucking canaries. Rhea! Oh my god, did you make that emote? Wait, I guess I could check by hovering over it. But Rhea, how are you doing? You're making my boy too cute. And it's gonna make me hire you, so you're doing a good job, but fuck. You're killing me. Ah! Hi! Hi! No. This will use a power node. Yep, that's okay. That's what I keep it around for. A text log. I have a lot of work right now, but yes, hire me. I love money. Real. And I love your art, so it's a good trade-off. They hate me. They all hate me. Same and real. I can see them all. They're everywhere now, just perched, watching me. Even Anti. She's just waiting until old Howard Phillips finally goes crazy and snaps, like he did when he let all the birds out, violated all the codes, broke all the rules. I'll show them crazy. I'll show them what it takes to get out of here. They'll have to come up here and clean up all this blood. And then what rules will they make? I'll break those too. I'm going to go lay down. I don't feel right. Ooh. Bird blood? Do you mean bird blood, man? I hope you mean bird blood. Another little save, just cause I feel like it. War. How have you been? I was lurking when you and Vapor were playing something. It might have been Phasma. Sick? You're sick? Alright, fucking Typhoid Mary, you stay the hell away from me. I'm kidding. I love you. I'm sorry you're sick. You need to work? Like go to work? Like job? Or you need to art? Like job? Which... They took my fucking thing. Did you see that? They fucking bamfed my thing. That's fucked up. No, I wish I had a job. L for jobbing. Ah! Well, as soon as my job pays me, I'll try to give you more job. Well, you see, it's the mask. That's what the mask is. That's what the point of the mask. You see, I wear a mask. She doesn't get it. She never does. Honest chasing me for that? Real. Kind of real. Our commissions... Damn, you have shit tons. Are you not charging enough, Rhea? Or is it just real expensive where you live? And you also don't have to answer me. I'm being super nosy into your personal life. You don't gotta answer a single goddamn thing. Whoa! Yeah, of course it's zero gravity. I'm in fucking space. Replenish air at O2 stations. Okay. What do I do over here?
Ellie, it looks like 2 of the mirrors are out of alignment. How's he doing?
He's stopped hyperventilating, but I don't know how much longer he's gonna last. I knew he would just slow me down.
If Strauss dies, so do my chances of destroying the marker. Keep him alive and get to that panel. All right, Ellie, 1 down. How's it looking on your end?
I'm trying to roll back the cover now. Strauss, can you give me a hand with this?
Oh, he'll hurt me. I'm not strong enough.
I promise I'll protect you. Now, just get over here and give me a hand.
They're kind of cute. Give me oxygen. Give me...
Something
Ow.
covering the collector panel.
Fucking hell.
Oh my god. There's thousands of them.
Whoa.
They're breaking apart.
Ellie, get out of there!
Oh my god, they're heading this way. Run, Strauss, run!
Ellie, come in! Ellie! Shit.
Oh! Ow. Fucking hell. Ow. Ow. Fuck it, I just stood still for that one. Can I have oxygen, please? Yay! Ow. You are fucking a pain in the ass, aren't you? Ow. Okay, well. God damn you. Ugh. A lot of shit going on in my life. Getting sick didn't help me a lot. Yeah, getting sick will often do that. It's Vapor's fault? It often is. Spain is really expensive, and being self-employed here is the worst thing you can do as far as I know. Woof. Fucking woof. I think the worst thing you can do is be self-unemployed. True. Really do hope you feel better and things get easier for you. Technically, I am yourself unemployed? Damn. That's rough, buddy. Okay, there we go.
Ellie, it looks like 2 of the mirrors are out of alignment. How's he doing?
He's stopped hyperventilating, but I don't know how much longer he's gonna last. I knew he would just slow me down.
If Strauss dies, so do my chances of destroying the marker. Keep him alive and get to that panel.
Whoa. I thought this was... Wait a minute. Huh. What am I supposed to be aiming you at? Oh, at that. I'm stupid. I understand. No, I was aiming it at that. Oh, you're pissing me off. You're pimming me off. This was so easy the last time. Okay, there you fucking are. Okay, I don't know what that was
All
about.
right, Ellie, 1 down.
I'm hydrating.
I'm trying to roll back the cover now. Strauss, can you give me a hand with this?
Oh, he'll hurt me. I'm not strong enough.
I promise I'll protect you. Now, just get over here and give me a hand. Something covering the collector panel. Oh my god. There's thousands of them. They're breaking apart.
Ellie, get out of there.
Oh my god, they're heading this way. Run, Strauss, run!
Ellie, come in. Ellie. Shit.
That is quite bad. Ow. Yep. 'Tis time for that fuckery. What the fuck? That. Oh. It's pimming me off. It's pimming me off. Okay. It's fine. The problem is that I have one gun that can aim, and it has no ammo. That's the fuck of it all. Ooh, and the game is starting to make me nauseous again, which is not ideal.
Ellie, it looks like 2 of the mirrors are out of alignment. How's he doing?
He's stopped hyperventilating, but I don't know how much longer he's gonna last. I knew he would just slow me down.
If Strauss dies, so do my chances of destroying the marker. Keep him alive and get to that panel. All right, Ellie, 1 down. How's it looking on your end?
I'm trying to roll back the cover now. Strauss, can you give me a hand with this?
Oh, he'll hurt me. I'm not strong enough.
I promise I'll protect you. Now, just get over here and give me a hand.
Woo! Stop.
Something covering the collector panel. Oh my god. There's thousands of them. They're breaking apart.
Ellie, get out of there.
Oh my god, they're heading this way. Run, Strauss, run!
Ellie,
My god, the fact that that does nothing is piss. It's just straight piss. Oh my god. Okay, fine. What? Did I try increasing my FOV? No, I did not. I do not know what that is, but I will try it now. Settings, visuals. There does not seem to be FOV. Maybe it's in. It wouldn't be in controls, wouldn't it? No. It wouldn't be in audio either. Yeah, I suspect there is no FOV option. Yeah. I suspect we are just kind of fucked. My new plan is to charge the enemy so that I can kill him with all my close range shit. We do have an ad in a minute, which will give me a break to try and soothe my complaining stomach. Okay, first for that one.
Ellie, it looks like 2 of the mirrors are out of alignment. How's he doing?
He's stopped hyperventilating, but I don't know how much longer he's gonna last. I knew he would.
Wait, if only
down.
2
If
mirrors
Strauss
are out
dies,
of
So do my
alignment,
chances of destroying the marker. Keep
Maybe-
him alive and get to that panel.
maybe I could just do it and ignore
All
that
right, Ellie,
problem.
1 down. How's it looking on your end?
I'm trying to roll back the cover now. Strauss, can you give me a hand with this?
Oh, he'll hurt me. I'm not strong enough.
I promise I'll protect you. Now, just get over here and give me a hand.
Woo!
Here.
Now. Yeah,
Something
no.
covering the collector panel. Oh my god. There's thousands of them. They're breaking apart.
Ellie, get out of there!
Oh my god, they're heading this way. Run, Strauss, run!
Ellie, come in! Ellie! Shit.
And there she is. Ooh. Now let's go to oxygen. Easy fucking peasy. I say mid yawn. Ooh. Those are bad sounds. Huh. Yet again, I find myself in this situation where I feel like it is pointing at it, but it says no. All right. And there's the ad. Okay. We will take a quick break from staring at the screen because perhaps my stomach will appreciate that. How's everyone enjoying the stream so far? I'm having fun. I'm glad I made it back in time. I was worried. I got back at 57 exactly, and I was just like, stream must start, stream must start. Having a good time? Good. I'm glad. Wednesday, we'll be doing more Darkwood, which honestly, kinda starting to wear on my sanity. But I think we're like kind of close to the end of the game, which would be nice. I don't know what we'll do after Darkwood, honestly. We could do some classic horror, like Outlast. I did already play that a while ago, but it has been a while. Ah! Who and why? Who would dare? Evil Within? I have never played Evil Within. Ooh! That game that Teacup recommended, the fucking oil rig one. Still Wakes the Deep? I do own that. I do own that now because I'm foolish with my money. Helta tried to be foolish with their money first, but I snatched it up. I snatched it up before they could. I'm devious. I'm devious and evil. Dare? I did. You did Dare? The do no drugs thing? Man. I love, there's nothing I love than that t-shirt. And, you know, having a fine time. Alright, we're going back. Oh god, lasers. Huh.
Ellie! You alright?
We just made it to the crossover tube when the beam hit. Isaac, those things are still heading towards the transport hub. They're wrecking everything in their path.
Holy shit, they'll cut us off. Get to the hub. I'll meet you as soon as I can.
Give me this item. Okay. Now, where's my thingy? Is this it? Nope. This also is not it. Fuck. Okay. Where on earth am I supposed to be? Ah! Where the fuck is my ride? Oh god. Oh. Aha!
Exiting zero gravity.
Thank you. Now put me down.
Ellie, come in!
Isaac, we have to cross to the government sector before they cut us off. You'll never make it down here in
I'll
time.
be there! I'll be there!
Fucking hell. Incredibly awesome.
Detected a new realignment. Emergency ejector systems initializing.
Jesus. Ah! Ooh. Oh, fuck yeah. Ah! Whoa. Uh-oh. 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 Ah! Right there. I see. God. Isaac's such a cool fucking hero. My guy just gets shit done. Ooh. Oh, God. I'm afraid of 4-letter words. You have a capacity of...
Ellie, where are you?
Right outside! Hurry!
Hurrying. Oh, sorry, quick shopping trip. Sorry, hold on. Contact beam is pretty fucking good, actually. I would love a contact beam. Thank you. Sure. Save my little game. Traveling at this speed, even a pea-sized rock would hit me. It would, ow, hurt slightly. Evil Within 1 is an incredible horror game. Evil Within 2 is a really fun action game disguised as horror. I see. That is not ideal, but I would take it. Hi, guys.
Isaac! The train is this way.
Okay. Whoa!
Are you crazy?
Oh, hello, child.
Isaac, I'll try to open the CEC door on your level. Hold on.
Ow. There is no oxygen thing anywhere.
Shit, lock.
Oh,
I'm giving it
ow.
my codes, but it's not working.
Ow. Hey, go fuck yourself.
Yes, I'm authorized for this. Open up, you bastard! There, it's open. Isaac, go.
Ow. Okay. Rule of cool. True. True.
Ellie, are you guys there? Did you make it?
Shit, Isaac. Just... shit.
Hey, take it easy. It's okay.
No, it's not. I was right here this morning with a crew of 30 people. But we were overrun. And before I knew it, they transformed. I had to cut the arms and legs off my friends just to escape. I'm sure there's pieces of them still lying around here somewhere.
Ellie, I know. I'm sorry.
And here I am again. I've just walked one big fucking circle today.
That is frustrating.
We'll get through this. Let's figure out how to meet up.
Oh, now you want to meet up. Sorry.
There's a central hub in the main facility. Here are the coordinates.
Ducky, ducky. checking. Ah! Ah! I don't think there was a save point. Did I miss a save point? There was not. But as soon as I see one, oh, there's probably one in this room. Oh, there it is. Ooh, where's my wife? Where's my dead wife? Okay. Did you know? Did you know the save station would be here? Do you know where I'm at? Do you know if I'm about to get fucked? Do you know if it's about to be in the fun way? It usually isn't, but I just like to pretend that occasionally it might be. Move that. Oh, that's good. Ooh. Upgraded seeker rifle of some kind? Force gun? Fucking detonator, I already knew about that. Line gun? But like a different line gun? Pretty sure I already had that one, but whatever. Let's buy some more nodes. Why not? Okay. Alright. It's my slip from sanity. I want to pick out some hallucinations. Where the fuck is my dead wife? Right? I just, you know. If I'm here anyway, I might as well say hello. Might as well drop in. Awesome. Awesome.
All teams, this is Caleb, xenogeologist from Langford Shift 1. There's something in the facility. We've lost 3 of our crew and can't contact Shift 4.
Here comes the transport. Everybody get ready in case there's more.
We're abandoning our shift and heading back up. Everyone else is ordered to do the same.
Yeah, that's fair.
Caleb, it's more of them.
I'm hydrated. My posture is bad. I'm slumped, but I'm comfortable. Quit shrimping. All right. We're unslumped. We've dislumped. Just checking. Why would you sound cue me like that? What the fuck is up with you? Ah. Stop sound cueing me. Vintage suit. Sick. Alright. Life is good. Everything's fine. that's about... Okay, so I can't use the buzzsaw to, like, trim through them. I feel like I occasionally have done that, but now it's not efficient. I think I need to hold it at a better angle. I think that was the problem. But that's okay. Oh, back here, huh? Go on. Fascinating. Ooh. Okay, well that was... cool. Icky. Audio.
Sorensen, do you read? It's Caleb, Shift 1. You guys better be right behind us. We're leaving a swarm of angry dead body parts behind us.
Caleb, come on! More are moving in ahead of us. I can see them!
Everyone move it! Go, go, go!
A swarm of angry limbs. Fucking hell. Thank you, game, for the reminder. Okay. Awesome. Ah. I'm not hallucinating, you're hallucinating me! Real. Ah, stop it. Go to admin office. Don't tell me what to do.
Isaac, over here. The door is jammed. This must have been the last stand for whoever was left down here.
Can you get the door open on your end?
No, the circuits are fried. They must have fused the panel trying to keep those things out.
There's gotta be another way in.
The only other way is through the processing plant. But it's not meant for human traffic.
Step boy.
I think I can stop it from here, though.
All right, do it.
The steps. He wants me to follow the steps.
Hold it together, Strauss. I'll be there soon.
Ooh. Let's do this. More death, more scary. Let's see. Oh my god, go fuck yourself. Oh my god! Oh my god. So, I think it's called sand. Ow, fuck you. Ow. Damn. You got a hell of a fucking range on ya, don't ya? Oh, nice! I can upgrade my shit right in the middle of all this garbage. No, I don't think it's called sand. Huh. Fascinating. Damage of TK impalement. I see. Sure. I think it's called sand because of the scene in Lamb's Love Child. A fascinating development. From our good friend Never Domed.
Entering zero gravity.
I think I've hit a dead end. Looks like some kind of venting system up ahead.
Right. Manually shutting down the plant froze all the pressure valves in place. You'll need to find a way to force it open.
Ah. How incredibly fascinating. Huh. So, but that's blue, but it still says no. Interesting. Huh. I have no idea what they are asking for. Feels like that. Just check everything out. Oh, okay, I can fly. Well, that, you know, changes some things, don't it? Use kinesis to attach thrusters to objects. Ah! Ah! Vaporwave axolotl? What the fuck are you doing here? I was just complimenting you, but don't worry, I was only complimenting you because Rhea drew you. Also, that new emote is very cute. Also, I hope you're doing well. I'm here to flirt. Well, boy, does Helta have a clip for you. What the fuck am I supposed to attach this to? Ah. Fascinating. You want to see? Too bad. It didn't actually clip. L plus ratio. I said something feral. Oh my goodness.
There you are. I see your friend has powered off the facility. Remind me to thank her for providing me with your location. I've locked the processing cycle on, and you in with it. It ends here, Clark.
It doesn't have to be this way, Titan.
It does. And it is. Goodbye, Clark.
He sounds familiar. I feel like I recognize his voice actor. I hate me. Well, that is kind of the point. Well, I've gone and put myself in a fucking... Ah! Oh my god! Quit it. As long as the lines of wanting to make out with him. I mean, that was some of it. I am eternally mad at Rhea for how hot she has made you. What the fuck is going on here? Oh, I see. Ow. Ow. Have you seen the flat color version yet?
Ellie, can't you shut these things off?
No,
I think
somehow
so.
Timon declared me dead in the system. Now my codes don't work anymore.
You're kidding.
Oh shit. Something's coming. Strauss,
No.
help me with the door.
I need you to see him. I need you to follow the steps.
What? No, just shut up and help me. God damn it!
Ellie! Woo! Oh, uh-oh. That's bad. I'll be right with you. Wait, which art are you referring to? The redesigns or the Halloween costumes? I don't know. It's a fucking, Fugi. I know you have made other Halloween costumes with it, but like the base look of it is just, it's good. It's good content. Uh-oh. Ow. Ow. Woo. Ah! Okay, well. Ow. You suck. Come here. Give me that. Huh. How much it scares me half to death. The otter one, probably. The otter one is quite good. I DM'd you my redesign. Okay, hold on. Hold on, guys. I need a moment. I need a private moment. Pay no attention to the sounds that may or may not erupt. Sorry, I'm just wiping my excessive drool. No, it's fine. It's good. It's fine. It's a normal amount of cool. It's good. It's, you know, it's fine. God damn it, I need to fucking... Who did this for you? Who did this for you? I need them to make me. I need... Oh, the blink is cute. Are those eyes? What's with the eyes? You got evil eyes, motherfucker. I'm into it. Oh, and the pink tracksuit. A pink tracksuit. God. God, I think you can hear my saliva. It's not a tracksuit. It looks like it. And you can fucking believe whatever you want, but you can't tell my gay little heart that, oh God. Wow. You're Purdy. What am I supposed to be doing? Oh, found it. Captain, you suck. It's much better than a tracksuit. When you got more time, you can look at what it is. I have the fucking tits up, Vapor. I have your chest up. Oh wait. I know that one. I know that one. I know that axolotl. I see. I see. Oh, God. Okay, well, Isaac, maybe that was a little dramatic.
You guys okay?
No, not really.
Step 3, Ellie.
Just through the door. No.
Come off, I think I'm close.
Okay. Wipe up that drool. Don't tell me what to do with my drool. The nerve of these men telling me where I can drool. It was also Rhea that did both the Fugi and the new ref sheet. Oh, please don't shoot me.
Glad to see you've got all your parts.
You alright?
Yeah.
There are 4 steps.
No thanks to Twitchy here.
1, 2, 3, 4. Step 4. She'll be waiting.
Jesus, Strauss. You okay?
It's getting worse.
What is step 4? Who will be waiting?
If the screws, if the needle, she'll be waiting.
He's not gonna make it. We gotta keep moving.
There's an industrial transport upstairs. Runs on the same spoke as the commuter train. It should get us to government sector. One of us will have to deploy it from the gear house.
Staring, asking.
Stay here and, try to get him on his feet.
If the needle, she'll be waiting.
Woo! Undoubtable, are you wiping my drool in this scenario? Because I'll come. Sorry, perhaps that was lewd. I'll ejaculate. I gotta get art from Rhea. I gots to get. Hi guys. Woo. Whoa. That's probably fine. Fine, I'm hydrating. I can't catch a break. Incredibly bad. Everything is oh, everything's fine again. Sorry. Thank you for the sound bite. Oh god. Whatever you fucking put that on, you need to send to me as well. That is my only. You can use my voice for whatever the fuck you want. You just need to also show me what you've done to me. That's my rule. Oh, all right. God, I have no fucking chill. God, I'd fucking kill for a bullet of something non-explosive. Okay, well, that's fair. Rhea webcomic time with this sound clip plus you and me. Oh my god. Guys, I just want you to say when there's sorry, you just say. I just want to say for the record, when there's porn of me, I've made it. I've made it and I actually don't need to do anything else. I can continue if I so choose, but honestly, what's even the point? Ow. right. Ow. Are you all quite finished? They do ISO spicy art? Who do? Rhea does? Wait, you want to go that far? I know an artist. Oh, you know an artist who does that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. What am I saying? I'm just saying I'm shopping. Women be shopping. Not Rhea. Fair. Fair. Okay. Vintage suit. Yeah, fuck yeah. I'll buy a vintage suit. Get old reliable back. Ah, look at that ass. Sorry. I think you're requesting porn of yourself. I would never be so crude. I'm just saying, when it happens, I'll have made it. Wow. Look at that strange man. Sick. Okay, well that was an incredible amount of my money wasted. But you know what? Maybe it was worth. God, ammo is so expensive, I refuse. That's bright. Ah! Hi. God, that was horrific in a lot of ways. Okay. Okay. Wow. Ooh. Fascinating. Why do you assume it would be yourself that makes the first prawn? Eh? Eh? What do you mean by that? What are you implying, my impregnated friend? Okay, this time I will not sprint towards the first loot I see. I will instead first kill you, and then also you. Ah! Oh, wow. That's right. That's right. That's how I died. I think you messed up. Shut up. Whoever feels artistically inclined is allowed to draw porn. It's a free world. It's a free market. I wish there was a way to preemptively drop the shields, you know? But there's not. We should all draw one line of the plot, and wherever it goes, it goes. Genius! What? Huh? Who? Huh? Why would you say that? Ooh, no.
This is Sorensen, any remaining CEC personnel. Track towards Ellie Langford's rig. Our group is furthest ahead and has cleared a path, but it's moving up fast. Gotta go, Doc. Force coming. Don't think, just move.
Okie doke. Do I have the artistic capability to draw it? No. Do I have the literary capability to write it? Absolutely, Captain. Captain, given the type of story that we have already discussed both knowing, there's no one I trust more than you. Stop censoring it. It is for Undoubtable sticking to his anti-censorship stance. I respect it. I respect the consistency. Ow. Whoa, what was that? What the fuck did I just do? What the fuck am I doing, and how did it use all my ammo? Alrighty. I forgot we talked about that. And I never will. There was a bonding moment that few have shared. I'm just saying, the first one to read all of How Do We Relationship has my hand in marriage. For legal purposes, she is lying. I'm not. I am. Oh, wow. The thighs on you. I mean, I would show them off too if I were you, but holy fuck. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I think I remember How Do We Relationship. It's so good. It's so fucking good. What the fuck? Oh. Ah, give me that. And eat that. And that. only 14 volumes. I'm starting my read through of it now. It's genuinely so good. It just finished kind of recently, actually. What do I find myself using the most? Honestly, the Ripper. Capacity, Alt-Fire. I don't mind upgrading Alt-Fire. Contact beam, reload speed on that wouldn't hurt, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, and we keep one for fun.
Surprise there.
Yeah, I'll let you know when it's fixed.
Huh. Fascinating. Can I freeze you up there? Yes. I see. And then also another gear. Is assuming there you are. Ooh, I hear bad noises. Yeah, that's right, you fuck off. Okay. And now I can do this?
I'll release the transport. Meet me at the landing.
We'll be right there. Strauss, come on. Come on.
Yippee, yippee, yippee.
Why'd you come looking for me if you knew I was dead, Isaac? Did you think I would forgive you?
Get out of my head. You're not Nicole!
Ah. Fucking awesome. Damn, wait, I can't shoot. I'll be your +1? Whoa. Do you think you will play Dead Space 3? I didn't know there was a third, but assumedly. Is it, why? Is it not good?
Hey, you made it.
I'd be doing that.
Staring at me, Isaac. Strauss.
Through the holes in his head.
Listen to me.
Stop staring at me! Stop it! Relax!
Isaac, we have to get out of here.
Right. Let's go.
Dead Space 3 is co-op, and it's scarier co-op. Why can't you? Fine. I'll grab someone. That sounds fun.
That's the Ishimura.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Used to be the pride of the CEC. It's a sad story, actually. I heard everybody on board died. Some sort of terrorist attack.
No.
Terrorist attack? What happened aboard that ship was no terrorist attack.
It was this.
That's
it
where
was
all this started, Ellie. Everything that's happening here happened on that ship. I saw it. I was on board when it happened. Hey, what's happening?
I don't know.
I stream when I'm at the. Oh yeah, fair.
Stay here. I'll take a look.
Dead Space 3 feels more action-oriented to me than horror in comparison to the other games, but that's to be expected for the time. Yeah, everything kind of turned into action, didn't it? Even fucking Alien, what was it, 3? The one with all the soldiers? Was just fucking another action movie. Which, you know, isn't like the worst thing in the world, but it's also not like good. Haha. Haha.
Only this crew's left. Our crew is chasing us. Our dead crew is chasing us. It's just me and Ellie right now. We're not gonna make it.
No! Get up, Caleb. It's just a few more meters.
I hear them coming. Don't kill us both, Ellie. Just run. I'll save you. Just go.
No, Caleb! Caleb!
This is Caleb from Shift 1. We lost.
Okay, was that the same Ellie that... Oh. Get absolutely fucking wrecked. Oh, we're on break. Okay. Dead Space 3, yeah. So it got more action-oriented and brighter, but for some reason in multiplayer, the game is darker and more horror-oriented sections are unlocked because they're co-op only. Huh. I don't... Game development-wise, I do not fuck with that at all. But, besides that, why was that snap so clear? Snap? Huh? Who? What? Huh? Did I do something impressive? I love it when I do that. Let's pretend I did, even if I didn't. I'd like to live in the reality where I did. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, fuck. I forgot my book. I only got the solo experience for myself. Undoubtable. Are you free, perhaps, on Wednesdays or Mondays? Today's Monday. On Mondays? In the future? Play a little gamey game? We get to hear Undoubtable? I already have, because I'm better than you. But, you know, I'm not gonna brag. I am. Wait, what is that emote? I have to know. I've heard Undoubtable. Let me have this. If I can lovingly peer pressure Undoubtable into streaming with me, it'd be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool. Mobile viewer, where? I fucking wish. I'm not sure how I would be able to play with you. Do you only have it on like console and stuff? Fuck. That's right. The mobile. Captain knew. Captain knows that shit. Captain knows things. Scares me. I have a clip that still needs to be edited of Undoubtable accidentally coming into our VC during a stream, and that's how we ended up with the collab channel. Hysterical. That is fucking hysterical. I love that. That was an accident. Occasionally, I am tempted to kind of pull a vapor and have stream days where I'm just in a open voice channel that anyone could just fucking wander into. I think it'd be kind of fun. But I feel like I'd get very distracted. Maybe Saturdays, that could start being my thing. And Saturdays will, like, you know, not that Outer Wilds isn't a story game, but like we'll continue doing just kind of weird random shit, maybe like roguelikes and stuff, things that, you know, are not too like dialogue oriented necessarily. Moth is probably the person I've talked to the most. Oh my god, I'll blush. Welcome back, ad watchers. I'm sorry. I stopped playing. I was too busy getting flirted with. I'm in Pleasant? Holy fuck. I'm blushing. Open VC. I mean, could be fun. Could be fun. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Lucky? Oh, vapor. Baby. Just say the word. The word, of course, being, you know. Ow! Fucking hell! Haha, like a fucking Lego. Ooh. Ow! Fucking hell. Hey. How you doing? Oh, that's what you meant. I meant that too. Yes. Yes, of course. A schematic. Are there more? Fucking hell. No end to you. Hi. Ow. Fucking hell. Marcus, that weird worm thing named Marcus. David, it's gone. What did he make disappear? Was it like Cleveland or something? It was something. Some American place. I just showed a friend that thing. Oh, all right. Damn, how do people feel about a VR chat stream? I can put this model into VR chat, so I can go fuck around on there. If I was feeling so inclined. Okay. Would it be an open VR chat thing? I mean, probably. What else would you do? It's a social place. I guess I could just sit in a room by myself and have you look at me, but I can move my hands around more accurately. And my eyes less accurately. Like, it feels like a trade-off that's not entirely worth it. I know Rue is gonna get pissed at me if she hears me saying that, but it's true. It's the God's honest truth. Cool. I have like no ammo for fucking anything. I guess I could buy a new gun. Maybe. Eh. Force gun. I don't mind that. Robert, this cabinet is incorrect. Very incorrect. I'm mildly irritated, Robert. Very irritated. Quite irritated. I'm going to go remove South Carolina, Robert. South Carolina is gone. Forever. Ugh. So good. So incredibly good. Vapor, would you want to join in a little VR chatting? Seems like you might. It seems like you might. I guess I am gonna buy some ammo. They're giving me enough money too. Let's do it. And then cool. I have the headset. I just need to know how to import my model. Oh, that's easy peasy. I'll send you the video I use. No, I have to redo it because I've redone my model a couple times. Only my old one is in there. It's like a mild pain in the ass, but really not that difficult at all.
Ellie, there's a giant tentacle blocking the transport door. It's wrapped around a big tank.
A big tank? Nitrogen trichloride. Those explode if they overheat.
Perfect.
Fascinating. Oh, there we are. Another. Give me another.
We're moving again. We'll wait for you up ahead.
All right, I see you. I'll meet you there.
Milo's here.
Get ready.
Hello, Milo.
What? Are you crazy? That one in the middle. If you set that off, it will incinerate everything in here.
Yes, it will. Tell Strauss to hold on. Here we go.
Oh my god, this is a terrible idea. Oh my god!
Look out! There's more coming from holes in the walls!
Ah! Ow! Fucking hell.
This whole place is gonna blow! Get up here fast! Isaac!
I'm going! Not very fast. Ah! Fucking awesome. I've been wanting to get a low poly 3D model. Those seem very cool. Woo! What's a little light toasting between friends? Oh my god.
In another situation, I might admire your persistence, Mr. Clark. But this is bigger than you and bigger than the lives of everyone on this station.
Sir, final preparations for attack are wrapping up.
Looks like it ends here. At this point, it's all just dead weight.
Isaac, what did he mean? What did he mean when he said dead weight?
He's about to drop our
He's using the
ass.
solar beam. We gotta stop the transport now.
Oh, shit. He's cut the station in half. There's no track to get across on.
Back us up. Back us up to the station.
What? Why?
Just do it, Ellie. Hurry. The Ishimura. If the gravity tethers are still functional, I can...
You can snag Govsec and drag it back? Isaac, this is ridiculous.
If I can line the tracks up just for a few seconds, you should be able to get the transport across. Stay ready. And take care of Strauss.
Isaac,
God.
no! This is a really bad idea.
Do you have a better one?
I'm full of bad ideas.
It is actually my whole thing. There's no way this... I can't believe I'm going on the Ishimura. This is gonna suck. It's okay, we are a space engineer. It's true. It's true, we are a space nerd. A nerd in space. Oh, my wife is gonna be super unhappy.
Ellie, I'm in. There should still be a computer in the flight lounge. I can check the ship's status from there.
Are you
Oh.
okay? You sound a little nervous.
Last time I was here, things didn't go so well. Look, I'll contact you soon.
All right, let's do this. Oh my god. Damn, they wrapped this shit up. I don't know who the hell needs a whole roll of toilet paper to wipe their ass, but I'm gonna kick their ass if I ever find them. This is the 5th week in a row that some jackass has clogged the toilets in here. We're in space, for crying out loud. If this plumbing gets jacked, someone has to spacewalk and get a helmet full of crap to clean it out. Knock it off. Hysterical. Oh, fuck yourself. What's your first thought if you go to a house and there's plastic all over the couches?
Go on. This is Hedrick. You really don't hear anything when you're cleaning these bathrooms? Every shift, I swear, I hear something in the walls like a scratching noise. When I stop moving, it stops. When I move again, it waits a bit, then comes back. Today, it followed me around right under my feet like it was stalking me. I can't take this, man. The ship is cursed. It is a bad omen that it's here. I'm putting in for a transfer. You should too.
Damn, I fuck with people who are just like, bad juju, I'm out. Fuck a paycheck. Sorry, I've been on the phone during the VR chat part of the discussion, but I do have a VR setup. Captain, cuddle pile in VR chat. Ignore me, please. I beg of you. Ooh.
Gravity and life support on reserve power. Primary systems offline. Main centrifuge offline for repairs.
Damn it. That's what I thought.
What?
The gravity centrifuge is under repair. I'm gonna have to go down to engineering. This should be interesting.
Is it safe?
I don't know how it could be. I'll let you know.
Perhaps there's nothing on here. Maybe everything's fine.
You can pretend not to be bothered, but being here rattles you, doesn't it, Isaac? All this plastic and tape covering the scars. Turn hide the blood and the body so no one will ever know. But you remember what happened, no matter how deeply you try to bury it.
Yeah. Never ignore you. Too bad. Live with my attention. No! A fate worse than death being perceived. Ooh, this is fucking spooky. Also, I figured out a game to drag you through during Scuff-a-thon, if you would be willing to, of course. It was on sale? Sounds like a good deal. Sounds like a good time. Ooh, sure. I'll just keep it. It's a great deal for you since I bought it for you an hour ago. God damn you. I appreciate you. Fuck off. What type of game is it? Is it another horror game? Or is it just strange? I might fall asleep before stream ends again, and you would be well within your rights to. Don't ever feel like you gotta stay up on my account. Went on sale for $8 and change? That is a pretty good deal. Okay, I'm less mad at you. Woof.
It's Hendrik. Did you come in last shift? Did anyone? I think it's just me down here now. I got lost last night when the lights went out, and I fell down a ramp. I think. Or someone tripped me. I'm all bruised on my left side and my ankle is swollen. Are you sure you guys aren't down here? I hear something near my locker. Screw this! I'm heading up. I'm never coming back here again.
Guys, I'm getting the sneaking suspicion that my two friends are not real. But that is perhaps the paranoia. Ooh. Undoubtedly, I'm gonna beat you up. I'm all about a good time on any time for under $10 with a friend is a good time. True. It's very true. Does that mean we'll be playing it together, Captain? Is it co-op? Are you gonna co my op? Can I co your op? Okay, yep, I fucking figured. Woo! Yeah, that's fair. Ooh, get absolutely rolled. Really? Oh, there it is. It's co-op? Hell yeah. Oh, awesome. You. Is this doing anything? Hey!
Isaac! Isaac, they're falling into the ship!
Yeah, I know!
God, you are fucking hideous. Okay, everything's fine. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Oh, I see. Gotta mute for a sec, finish this work thing. Godspeed, Captain.
Okay, no, Ellie, it isn't safe. But I'm on my way to the centrifuge.
Just be careful.
I'll call you when it's online.
Warning. The engineering deck has not completed final cleanup and decontamination.
Yeah, I believe it. Got anything for me? Okay. Let's fucking scram. Fucking blue bloods. Oh, let's not scram. Where the fuck am I going? Ah.
Dr. Heidi Latchford, Research Summary Organic Material Analysis. There are several shocking findings relating to the sludge-like material found throughout the Ishimura. First, it is human DNA.
I'm aware.
Far more disturbing, it reanimates in the presence of a marker signal. The only conclusion we can come to is that the entire Ishimura crew was infected and reconstructed and then fell into a soupy DNA sludge when the Aegis 7 marker was destroyed.
Woof. Woof. Captain, how dare you? I just saw that you could grow. Undoubtable, don't think you're off the hook either. Ooh. I don't believe I have any extra nodes. Let's see.
Decontamination initializing.
Ah, yes.
Decontamination complete.
Huh. How are you alive? Ow. Rose Biscuit. I'm gonna kill again. Is this the way to go? Fine, I'll go the other way. Fuck you. Woo! That's no good. Oh, fuck you. And I'm all the way back here. God damn, everyone. All right. Oh my god. Why is it sometimes you fucking hatch bastards and sometimes you do not? Huh? Ow. We're going this way again. I refuse to be done in. Milo, you are directly in the way. Just want you to know. Where are your claws? Fine then. Fuck you, I'm too overstimulated to care. Get off of me, please. I really wish I had my flamethrower. I just... Okay. Okay. Captain. Out of curiosity, is the constant feat a hint towards your mature writing style if you were to follow through on previous threats? Oh my god. Yes, sick. There's one thing I love, it's consistency. Mayhaps. I'll take it. I'll take a mayhaps.
Entering zero gravity.
Unfortunately, my friends, I think honestly we might have to stop here. It's almost 11. I got training tomorrow. Admittedly, training is a little late, but it's still like my first day, and I would like to not risk being late or EP. If you know what I'm saying. And I hope you do. So let me check out Twitch. Let me see who's streaming. Let me see what fun things we could get up to. They're ready. Look at them. They're ready to go. They're raring to go. There's that person. There's that person. There's that person. So many folks. So many folks. But, you know what? Given the things that were just revealed recently, I would love the opportunity to raid Alex Solotl, my lovely, lovely queer sea rat. Oh, if I could spell. If I could spell. Alex. Oh, excellent. There we go. Thank you everyone for being here. If anyone here is not in the Discord, you could join the Discord. It's a fun place where I hang out with people and steal your jokes. I know everyone here is probably in the know, but you know, I'm gonna continue to do the ad thing because I will. Speaking of in the Discord, I promise I will begin, once I understand my schedule, I will begin starting to tease the subathon and maybe polling for how the fuck we should do that kind of thing. Besides that, you know, love y'all. See you in 2 days for some more Darkwood. I am not super excited for it. I'm not gonna lie, it still scares the fuck out of me, but I like hanging out with y'all, so that'll be worth it. That's it. That's all I have for you. I don't know. Remember to grab the raid message. I say forgetting to grab the raid message. I could exclamation mark other things, but I won't. Bye! Bye, 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 bye! Night! Don't do that. Love you. Bye.